What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. And last night we witnessed a pretty good game, game one of the Western Conference Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was a very good game up until, let's say, midway through the third quarter, and that's when the Timberwolves really started to fall apart. But I do think this isn't the end of the Timberwolves, right? I think a lot of people, they get ahead of themselves when their team loses game one. But you have to remember, this was game one on the road for the Wolves, and Anthony Edwards did not play as good as he could have. A lot of the Wolves players did not play up to the standard that they have been playing so far in the playoff run. Julius Randle had a very good game, 9 of 13, 5 of 6 from three-point range for 28 points. Anthony Edwards only had 18 points. He was going through some injury troubles, was a little hobbled out there. But just overall, the team just did not play very well. The Thunder forced them into basically 19 turnovers, which was able to be converted into 31 points on the other end, which is what led to the 114-88 victory by the Thunder. But the scoring in the first quarter was 23-20 in Minnesota's favor. Then second quarter, 25-24 in Minnesota's favor. And then the third quarter, OKC outscored them 32-18. And then the fourth quarter, OKC outscored them 38-22. So they need to be able to play a complete 48-minute game. They did not shoot very well. They shot 29.4% from three-point range. They took 51 three-point attempts, only made 15 of them, compared to the Thunder, which took 21 attempts and made 11 of them. So that's 52.4% from three for the Thunder. So they're not playing efficient basketball right now, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think this is the end of the Wolves, right? I think this is going to be a longer series. I think this is going to go at least 6 games. And, we'll see what happens. But I think the main thing is Anthony Edwards has to get healthy, right? They only have a day in between games 1 and 2. So I don't think that's going to be enough time for him to get healthy. But he's a pretty strong dude. I think he can kind of play through certain things. But I think it was his ankle. It's been bothering him since last series as well. So we're going to have to monitor it a little bit closer and see what happens. But, I'm not giving up on the Wolves yet. So can the Wolves reach the NBA Finals? I think so. I think it's going to be an uphill battle. I think if I really had to pick one of the 4 teams left in the West and the East that has the best chance of making the finals, it's probably the Thunder, right? They're the top seed in the NBA. They had a pretty dominant game 1 win here. If I had to put my, all my marbles on something, I would say OKC's probably going to reach the finals. But I think anything is possible in these playoffs. Just from what we've seen so far, especially in the last round, with the road teams taking, every road team took game 1. It was incredible, right? We've never seen that before in the NBA. And, the fact that that's already happened in these playoffs, I think there's potential for even more crazier upsets to happen. I think it would be awesome if we saw Knicks Timberwolves finals, right? Because they had that big trade in the beginning of the season. And to be able to see Cat go up against the Wolves, his former team, in the finals would be pretty crazy. I don't know if the Wolves have ever made the finals before. I think they've made Western Conference Finals, obviously last year and then this year. And then I think previously as well, maybe when Kevin Garnett was on the team. I'd have to double check. But, the Knicks have obviously been in the finals before. But it's just, that would be a crazy matchup because I don't think anyone expected that. I think everyone kind of expected it's the Celtics or the Cavs coming out of the East, and it's the Thunder coming out of the West. So if it winds up being Wolves, Knicks, that'll be quite the entertaining series. But obviously it gets to that point. Both teams have to stay healthy. Minnesota certainly has to stay healthy if they have any shot of taking down the Oklahoma City Thunder. But I really wanted to make this video and kind of open it up to you guys. What do you think about the Minnesota team right now? Do you think they have the potential to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder and advance to the NBA Finals. I want to know your thoughts. And one other point I wanted to make before I let you guys go is that I think a key factor here as well is the defense being played by Jaden McDaniels. Because early on in the game, Jaden McDaniels was locking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander up. Like clamps all day. And he was forcing him into turnovers. And it's just, I think the matchup is so difficult. Shai is obviously a bigger guard. He's like 6'5", 6'6". And he can handle the ball really well. He's very good at drawing fouls. But Jaden McDaniels is like 6'9" or 6'10", and he's extremely quick. He moves like a guard. So having a 6'10" lanky guy like this on Shai at all times could really, affect the offense, for OKC. And that might be the key to winning the series for Minnesota, along with, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle doing what they do. You need Dante DiVincenzo to come in and do what he does as well. Dante had a pretty rough game one, 3 of 14 from the field, 3 of 12 from 3. So, there's some cleanup that has to happen here. Mike Conley also did not shoot very well, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Rudy Gobert only took 3 shots, only had 3 rebounds. Just like Rudy Gobert's got to do a better job rebounding. They got out-rebounded, significantly. And, that just can't happen. If you're going to win against this team, you can't get out-rebounded. They lost the rebound battle. They lost the shooting percentage battle. And it looked like that as you went into the later stages of the game. So that's all I got, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Wolves. Where do you think they're going to take this series? Do you think they can get past the Thunder and advance to the NBA Finals? I want to know your thoughts. So please leave some comments down below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You already know what it is. I'm going to catch you later, man. Stay safe. Stay up. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Handle business. Stay on business. Peace out.